A person who has no religion is abnormal. The person is not a good person. And if the person doesn't know it, somebody should go and inform him or her and say, there is something wrong with you. You are not normal.
Cardinal Francis Arinze is one of the most inspiring figures in the Catholic Church today. Born in a village in Nigeria, he rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most respected and influential cardinals in the Vatican. His journey was not an easy one, but it was marked by determination, faith, and an unwavering commitment to serving God and his community. Born on the 1st of November 1932 in Eziowelle, Anambra State, Nigeria, Francis is a convert from an African traditional religion. He was baptized on his 9th birthday, 1st November 1941, by Father Michael Wenetansi, who was beatified by Pope St. John Paul II in 1998. His parents later converted to the Catholic faith. At age 15, he entered All Hallows Seminary of Onitsha, from which he graduated and earned a philosophy degree in 1950. His father was initially opposed to his entering the seminary, but after seeing how much Francis enjoyed it, he encouraged him. Cardinal Francis stayed at All Hallows until 1953 to teach. In 1955, he went to Rome to study theology at the Pontifical Urban University, where he ultimately earned a doctorate in sacred theology. On the 23rd of November 1958, at the chapel of the university, Arinze was ordained to the priesthood by Gregorio Pietro Agajanian, pro-prefect of the Sacred Congregation for the Propagation of the Faith. After ordination, Father Arinze remained in Rome, earning a master's in theology in 1959 and a doctorate in 1960. His doctoral thesis on Igbo sacrifice as an introduction to the catechesis of Holy Mass was the basis for his much-used reference work, Sacrifice in Igbo Religion, published in 1970. From 1961 to 1962, Arinze was professor of liturgy, logic, and basic philosophy at Bigod Memorial Seminary. From there, he was appointed regional secretary for Catholic education for the eastern part of Nigeria. Eventually, Arinze was transferred to London, where he attended the Institute of Education and graduated in 1964. Francis Arinze became the youngest Roman Catholic bishop in the world when he was consecrated on the 29th of August 1965 at the age of 32. He was appointed and named coadjutor to the Archbishop of Onitsha. He attended the final session of the Second Vatican Council in that same year. He became Archbishop of Onitsha on the 26th of June 1967. He was the first native African to head his diocese, succeeding Archbishop Charles Henry, an Irish missionary. The new Archbishop did not have much time to settle into his office before the Nigeria-Biafra War broke out. archdiocese was located in the secessionist Biafran territory during the Nigerian Civil War. As a result of the war, Archbishop Arinze had to flee his see of Onitsha and live as a refugee for the 3 years of the war, which lasted from 1967 to 1970. Despite his own refugee status, Archbishop Arinze worked tirelessly for refugees, displaced persons, the sick and the hungry, offering support to priests and religious and giving the faithful hope for the future. With the help of foreign missionaries, he supervised what one international relief worker called one of the most effective and efficient distributions of relief materials in history. He also took care to keep the church separate from the ongoing political conflict, gaining the respect of all factions in the country. Francis Arinze was still Archbishop of Onitsha when the Nigerian Biafra War ended in 1970. As a part of Biafra, Onitsha and its people had suffered greatly in the 3-year war. The homes and businesses of the people had been devastated, and the already poor region was sinking deeper into poverty. The end of the war did not mean an end to the challenges facing the young archbishop. The Nigerian government deported all foreign missionaries stationed in the archdiocese, leaving only the native clergy and religious, who were few in number. The government also confiscated the Catholic schools, most of which also served as churches or parish halls. Impressed by Arinze's many accomplishments as the leader of an archdiocese with few resources and his ability to work side by side with Muslims who represent a strong and not to be ignored group, Pope John Paul II in 1979 appointed Arinze pro-president of the Vatican Secretariat for Non-Christians, later renamed the Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue. Francis continued as the ordinary of his diocese and was elected unanimously as president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria in 1984. A year later, the people of Onitsha organized a pilgrimage to Rome when they learned that Archbishop Arinze would be named a cardinal at the consistory of 25th May 1985. Arinze was one of the principal advisors of Pope John Paul II and was considered Papa Belli before the 2005 papal conclave, which elected Pope Benedict XVI. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon.